started off in predictable revenue as an outbound SDR. So doing the job that obviously a bunch of the training and coaching that we do as part of the coaching and consulting team, it's based on that role and then doing well in that role. So I started off in that role. We were pretty early stage company at that point. So I was reporting directly into our CEO at that time. We didn't have a dedicated sales manager until kind of towards the end of my SDR career. But because the CEO, Colin Stewart, was very busy doing CEO things, I had a lot of flexibility and freedom as an SDR to just come up with my own strategies. Basically, he was like, you've got a quota. Here's what we do. Here's our target market. Go for it. And so that freedom allowed me to develop my own strategies, which was huge. That was a huge kind of piece in me being able to learn what worked and what didn't, in terms of prospecting and experimenting and doing things that really didn't work and learning from them and all those things, which I think if you come into a company that has a playbook already built, obviously that's amazing and you'll be able to step right into hitting quota consistently and all these things. But you maybe miss a little bit of the learnings of making a mistake. So I got to make a bunch of mistakes and I got to make up some strategies that really worked, which was awesome, because then I could repeat those and basically work smarter, not harder. I wanted to get as many meetings as I could without doing as many cold calls as I could. And so I came up with ways to do that. So that was huge. That was the whole foundational piece that basically allowed me to start to see what worked and what didn't. Then I started really learning from the other kind of sales thought leaders in the industry, because I took over the podcast from Colin maybe a year and a half or something into my SDR career. So I started being able to ask other experts what they were doing that worked and following them on LinkedIn and seeing their posts and everything. And I would take little bits of that, everything that I learned from them, and carry that over into the prospecting. Most notably, Beck Holland had a strategy for personalization at scale, which I loved, seemed really useful, but didn't work for me the way that we were doing our prospecting, because Colin said, like, go for it, build a list and go for it. I basically would build a list of people, go through the prospecting steps with them, try to use Beck Holland's personalization, which would be like, you go look at their LinkedIn and you look for specific stuff. But those people that I was prospecting kept like not having great LinkedIn presences and it wasn't working. And so I went the other way around and I took, when people had commented on a post and that post was relevant to what we did and those people were in our ICP, then I knew they'd already done some activity on LinkedIn, and I instead built a list of those people and used her personalization method or template to those people, and that was great. So I started to learn from all these thought leaders. Then as our pods side of the business expanded and we needed more SDR managers on that side, I got asked to move over onto that side and be an SDR manager. Another opportunity to make a lot of mistakes and it kind of accelerate my growth, because we, as an SDR manager, you have a team of up to 11 or 12 SDRs, but each of those SDRs might be prospecting on behalf of a completely different company into a completely different industry, different personas, different messaging, all that kind of stuff. So you're learning at a very quick, large scale, where normally in order to work for, 12 companies, prospect for 12 companies, you'd have to work for 12 companies. It would probably take you 20 years to get through that level of, or that many different, types of prospecting. So that was huge, tons of learnings. And finally, that's what led me to the coaching role. So then when we were expanding more of the coaching side of the business, which we started doing kind of summer 2021, then I was asked to come over to the coaching side, just to take all that knowledge and all that learning that I've been gathering over all the years prospecting and then managing teams of prospectors, and kind of developing that sort of outbound go-to-market strategy. And yeah, take it and start to build a playbook and teach other companies how to do it. And I also worked really closely with Colin on the re-release of the most kind of recent iteration of the sales development methodology, which is of course an update from the predictable revenue book methodology. So in doing that, I kind of really solidified the kind of playbook and all those types of things in my head and where I thought we could take companies. And so finally, yeah, I was given the opportunity to do all that with the coaching team. And yeah, it's been great.